good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to discuss Sean Diddy Combs. I was about to call him something else. Sean Diddy Combs. And we also want to talk about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, I guess her campaign is kind of panicking only because they are afraid that they're losing steam, number one. And a lot of people are not really supporting Kamala Harris, particularly the black men. So they're pulling out all the stops. And Barack Obama had a message for all you black men out there that's not supporting Kamala Harris. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. Also, we want to talk about or just cover just a tidbit on Donald Trump. Donald Trump was actually in Detroit. He addressed, or he had a campaign meeting with Detroit Business Commerce, and they're giving him a lot of backlash of some of the things that he said. So we'll talk about that more on today's episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. I see we have Brian in the building. Good evening to you, Brian. Celeste Hodges, it's always good to see you. She's tuning in from Texas. And Larry is in the building from the far west side of Way Over Yonder. Thank you for tuning in. And you guys make sure you put in the chat. I want to see where you're viewing from. Our first story of the hour, I'm not going to, talk about it much, but I just want to cover this. Donald Trump, he was in Detroit, Michigan today. And, was it today or it was yesterday? I'm sorry. Donald Trump was in Detroit, and now they're bashing him because they're saying, he said a few words about, if you vote Kamala in Detroit, or America will end up like Detroit. Now, I live in Detroit. I don't live in Detroit now, but suburbs of Detroit. But I lived in Detroit probably around for 15 years. And I tell you, Detroit used to be a beautiful city. Of course, any large city, even any large urban city, it does have its blights. It does have its bad areas that you shouldn't visit. And also it has its good neighborhoods, beautiful historic neighborhoods. The Boston Edison District, Indian Village. And if you are from Detroit, you would know what I'm talking about. East Indian Village. Downtown, some parts of downtown is nice. When I was living there, and it was part of Kwame Kilpatrick, when he was there, or the mayor, it was kind of picking up steam, and it was, still beautiful. It still was a good place to hang out. But now Detroit has been somewhat gentrified. They moved out everyone. Because no jobs. There's no jobs in Detroit. I mean, if you look at the Detroit statistics, as far as the median income is well below the average median income of the United States. And it used to be back in the 90s, they said it was the largest, one of the largest black cities in America. They had about a population of 1.2 million. And then it slightly, gradually came down. But what really took a toll when they had the economy bust in 2007, then the population decrease by I think it went under a million. It was like 800,000. But anyway, I said that all to say, Detroit used to be a beautiful city. Now, if you go to Detroit now, they do have some parts where it's like okay, but most of the stuff that we see in Detroit, like if you're riding in the neighborhoods, some of that stuff, you'll have one damn house on the block. It looks pretty bleak. Developers are starting to come in and, fix stuff up and, charge high ass prices for the stuff they fixed up. But still, you still have certain neighborhoods that's ghost town. There's nobody there. And I think what Donald Trump was basically saying that, he's trying to make sure not only Detroit urban cities, but Detroit cities like San Francisco, cities like Oakland, California, won't end up like that. But they're giving him a bunch of crap about it. It says, let me just share this tab with you. Screen. It says Donald Trump slams Detroit during campaign event in the city. Now, of course, they only give you a snippet but if you listen to his whole speech, actually it was a pretty good speech. I thought it was good. But they saying he slammed Detroit, and it's like, well, no, he wasn't really slamming Detroit. He was just giving a reference of things that we probably don't want the rest of the country to look like. So this is what he had to say.
2024 presidential race and former
You guys let me know if you could hear this video.
President Donald Trump spending his afternoon speaking to the Detroit Economic Club. With less than a month until the election, candidates in town every week vying for the Michigan vote. 7 News Detroit reporter Sarah Michaels attended the event at the Motor City Casino Hotel today. She joins us from Detroit with Trump's promise for the Michigan auto industry and reaction from those in attendance.
The number one issue for many voters this election cycle is the economy. And that's the majority of what former President Donald Trump spoke about here in Detroit on Thursday.
You want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
Former President Donald Trump talking to members of the Detroit Economic Club Thursday at the Motor City Casino Hotel's Soundboard Theater.
The fact is that the Federal Reserve brought the interest rates down a little too quickly. It was too big a cut. And everyone knows that was a political maneuver that they tried to do before the election, but they did the wrong thing.
He spoke primarily about the economy and Michigan's auto industry, saying that saving Michigan's auto industry will be a part of his legacy, and that he is the only reason auto manufacturing in Michigan is still alive.
So I just want to say, Michigan, you're welcome. I'm announcing today that upon taking office, I will formally notify Mexico and Canada of my intention to invoke the 6-year renegotiation provisions of the USMCA that I put in.
He also spoke at length about his plans to impose tariffs on all imports. Promises met with mixed reaction by those in attendance.
He does what he says he's going to do. The last time he was elected, he did everything he said he was going to do about deregulation, about lower taxes, stronger military. He's very impressive, very sincere.
What did you think of the former president's economic promises today?
To me, it's against what I'm teaching to my students in international trade. The idea that we are going to impose tariff and that's going to solve our problems is very, very simplistic. Tariff is going to solve the problem. No, it won't happen.
And I've been reading about Detroit for so many years that it's coming around, and never really got there. Everybody tries so hard, but if you make the auto industry bigger, better, stronger. You don't have to worry about Detroit.
Now, Governor Tim Walz will be in Macomb County on Friday, and we'll bring you that coverage. In Detroit, Sarah.
And he has a point. Detroit, slow to come around. I mean, if I've seen it, I lived through it. Detroit has been slow to come around. I mean, they've been fixing up downtown. Downtown is quite fixed up, but it took them maybe 20 years to get the downtown like it is today. And it's beautiful downtown. I mean, you can't afford to stay down there because it's high as hell. Rooms, you can't afford a cheap room. The rooms down there is probably like $400 to $500 if, some type of event is going on. But now they have all the event centers downtown. All the sports are downtown. So it is a happening place. And but like right now, in some parts of downtown, I wouldn't suggest going. Like, I think some of the casinos are trash. Some of the casinos are trash. Not like Motor City. Like, I had a birthday party, and if you guys been following me for a while, I actually put the video of the suite that I rented for my birthday party. It was a couple of years ago, and it was trash. Okay, very trash, and they charged us damn near $1,200 for that suite per night. So I was really pissed off, and I ended up calling, the people, and they gave me half off. They didn't give me a full refund, but half off. But anyway, what I'm getting at is Donald Trump is absolutely correct when he's saying that, hey, if you vote Kamala in, the rest of the world or the rest of America probably will look like Detroit. Detroit is like almost a ghost town. And if you guys don't believe my statistics, let me just pull up Detroit population, and I'll show you the population. It was a little bit over 1 million people. This was back in 1990. Now, right before the auto industry went bust in the bailout, that was in 2009, and then it had a decrease, a steep decline, and it's steady declining. Detroit right now got 620,000 people in it. Why is that? And it's going to steady decline. You know why? Because our auto industry is suffering. They're not bringing more jobs to Detroit, Michigan. So why are we moving in Detroit? The city services suck. So why move to Detroit? And if you live in Detroit, their taxes are high and the city services suck. So what's the point of living in Detroit? And where I'm living at, they saying this county is the fastest growing county in Michigan. They're building houses like crazy, and now their infrastructure is over, they're trying to keep up with the infrastructure and widening the roads out here. But when I came out here, they had a whole bunch of 2-lane highways and dirt roads out here. Now I guess they're trying to, keep up with the population growth. So now they're widening the roads and increasing the schools. We got a couple of votes on increasing the budget of the schools and all that this year. And so they're trying to keep up, but Detroit, nobody wants to live there because I believe, this is my own personal opinion, because the taxes are too high, and then the city services suck, and also there are no jobs. There are no jobs in Detroit. So what's the point? I mean, unless you're working in the service industry, and then if you're working in the service industry, you don't make enough to live in Detroit. It's too high. It's absolutely too high. Anyway, so Tim Walz, he had to talk shit about Donald Trump. And he said, it says on the Hill, Walz blast Trump for a Detroit criticism. All these guys know is how to manufacture bull s BS. And it says Walz, the Democratic nominee for vice president, is holding a campaign event in Macomb, just outside Detroit. A senior campaign official said Walz would directly respond to Trump, who a day earlier warned despairingly that the entire country would look like Detroit under Harris Walz's campaign. Maybe if he ever spent any time in the Midwest, he would know Detroit is experiencing a great American comeback. Detroit, see, this is what I'm saying. Walz is like oblivious to the fact that no, it's not coming back. The only way Detroit would make a real great comeback if they increase the jobs here. That's the only way. You got to incentivize people to live and stay in Detroit. The schools, and I'm not over exaggerating, even the schools suck in Detroit. You got some schools that are like the U of D school, Cass Tech, and I think they shut down Martin Luther King. That was a good school, but they have a couple of charter schools. But as far as they knocking it out the park, as far as grades and getting kids in school, that's probably like Cass Tech. But I don't know how what their graduation rate is and entrance to college. I don't know the stats for that. But I hear Cass Tech is like the number one high school to go to. But it's saying, you're saying they're making a comeback. You are oblivious to the fact that no, not really making a comeback. It's on a decline, and it's going to further decline if they don't fix the economy. So Walz will say, according to the campaign official, crime is down, the city is growing, factories are opening again, but all these guys know about manufacturing is how to manufacture BS. I don't know why he will say that. Walz will also hit back at the former president and repeated attacks on investments in electric vehicle manufacturing. Trump has used those investments to foster fear about the future of the U.S. auto industry if he's not elected. Well, you don't need to foster fear because it's already happening to him. If you caught my last live stream, we talked about the U.S. auto industry extensively. And we know that the Green New Deal is killing the auto industry. And now you have manufacturers like Stellantis, GM, and other manufacturer, Ford. They're opening up plants in Mexico to manufacture some of the things. And then also, and I'm not saying, hey, we should step away from electric and stop building electric. No, I think it's something we should move forward to, but less aggressive. But also, you have, when you talk about manufacturing a fire or combustion engine versus an electric engine, you don't need as many people, So why would a company keep all these people if I gotta spend money to outfit my plant and change it over to electric vehicles? I don't need these people anymore because it's less parts in manufacturing an electric engine. So, of course, and jobs will be lost on just off of that alone. Okay. And he's saying some of these plants will produce electric vehicles. And I know some folks here might be a little skeptical of that, Walz will say. Here's my take on this. People are looking for choices, and we need to make those choices more affordable. Nobody's mandating anything. If you want to drive a 79 International Harvester Scout like I do, knock yourself out. No, Walz. You don't even know your own campaign. Do you even know what your platform is? The Green New Deal, see, Kamala Harris, she had the opportunity to discuss this when she was asked the question posed by Sonny Holston. Hey, do you feel as if you could, what am I getting at? Do you think, or what would you have done differently than Joe Biden? She could have, Kamala Harris had ample time to say, oh, I would like put a halt to the Green New Deal. She didn't say that. So, Walsh, you're not familiar with your own campaign. I'm sorry to say, you're not putting the regulations on people. Yeah, we could buy a used cars in that, but you told the manufacturers by a certain date they could only manufacture certain types of cars. So actually, you are putting a restriction. If a person wants a new car, you actually are putting a restriction on the type of car they could get. Anyway, so, so CNN came out about Donald Trump. It was a whole bunch of people bashing Donald Trump. And, it's like, okay, they're always going to find something to say bad about Donald Trump. We can't avoid that. They have to attack him. Now, so you guys put in the chat, let me know what you think. Courtney Smith, thank you for the super chat. Courtney is saying, hell, if Kamala wins, she could turn America into Gary, Indiana. That cracks me up. Yeah, it could be Gary, Indiana, and I think Gary, Indiana is worse than Detroit, right? Samuel Matthews, what is good? Carrington says she could hear loud and clear. Carrington is saying Detroit was known as the Motor City, hoping Trump can bring jobs back to Detroit. I absolutely agree with you. Jim Miller is saying Elon should make his driverless taxis in Detroit. That would be cool. Downtown Detroit is a white liberal playground, and it is, like the upper class white liberal. I mean, you can't get a condo downtown in Detroit, and it's not even downtown. It's like $500,000. Some of those condos is in the millions in Detroit. I used to live downtown. I used to live in one of the tallest buildings downtown, and it's called something else, but it was Washington Square Apartments. And I had my little balcony. I thought I was the shit back then, because I walk outside. I catch the trolley because I worked at Detroit Medical Center. 5 to 10 minutes on the trolley, only 50 cents a day, just to catch the trolley. And so I really enjoyed and appreciate living downtown. So that's what I'm saying when I talk about Detroit. I was actually living downtown for a few years. Then I moved to in Indian Village after I moved from downtown. But mainly when I lived in Detroit, it was in the downtown Indian Village area. So Jim Miller is saying, Walls, mind your own business. You wrecked Minneapolis. Absolutely. Mind your own damn business, Walls. You and Kamala Harris, you get something and you ruin it. Ruin it. Actually destroy it. California looks a mess. San Francisco is a mess. So I don't understand how people could actually trust a person after they get a hold of something and they actually ruin it. Dewana is saying, I really loved seeing downtown Detroit last year, but was there for 20 years ago, and it was sad to see. Yeah. It was pretty sad. Okay, so we're going to go to our next story real quick. This next story, I don't want to spend a lot of time, but this is about Sean Diddy Combs. Last time we talked about Sean Diddy Combs, he was arrested, and he was in this crazy prison. I think they had him on suicide watch. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. If you guys don't catch me in my morning show, I do a morning show on my other channel. It's called Unpopular Opinion. And me and Super Producer, which is my co-host, we talk about like trending news, trending topics, politics, and other stuff like Sean Diddy Combs. But Sean Diddy Combs, he's in jail, and they're saying that his court date is scheduled for May the 25th, I believe. Let's see. Share. May the 5th. His court date is scheduled for May the 5th for his sex trafficking charges. Okay. And is saying that the federal trial for Sean Diddy Combs is scheduled to start May the 5th. A judge in the New York City declared Thursday as federal prosecutors and defense lawyers clashed in court over whether the details in the sex trafficking case against the embattled hip-hop mogul are being leaked. Okay, Mark Agnifilo, I think that's how you pronounce his name, a lawyer for Combs, asked U.S. District Attorney Arun Subramanian in Manhattan to issue a gag order and accused federal agents of leaking the grand jury information to make the prejudicial comments to the media. And it's saying Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson urges that the defense is simply trying to exclude damning pieces of evidence disguised in the media statements. So it says among the alleged leaks raised by the defense was a video that aired on CNN in May that shows Combs beating his then girlfriend, singer Cassandra Cassie Ventura. Okay, none of the leaks are from the prosecution team, Johnson said. Deferred ruling on the gag order and said he would consider an order to prohibit publicly sharing information that undermines a fair trial. And so it's saying that Combs, of course, we already knew this, he pleaded not guilty. Also, Combs is remaining in jail because he was denied bail twice, while another bail appeal is pending in the New York Second Circuit Court. Orders Combs to remain in custody because the application is not before him. And I do want to point out this new judge, the other judge recused himself from this court case. Usually when they recuse themselves, they give us an explanation of why they're recusing themselves, and they did not give an explanation on, or the prior judge did not give an explanation why he is recusing himself. I think it's some shit in the game, really. Maybe he's looking at another trial that has something to do with Sean Diddy Combs, but I'm not for sure. But he recused himself, and he didn't give us a reason why. So, that's that. Now, I do want to get on Jaguar Wright. Now, this woman has worked with Sean Puffy Combs and Jay-Z, okay? Earlier in her career. So Jaguar Wright is claiming that Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z is the big culprit of this sex scandal. It's not only Sean Diddy Combs, it's also Jay-Z that she's implicating. This is all alleged because she's saying she has the receipts, but we don't know. But she did go, and I kind of do believe her because she's been going on this campaign trail saying, hey, you got to believe me. And ever since she came out and started talking about it, everything she's saying has came true. So what's not to believe? Now she was on Piers Morgan a couple of days ago. I think it was last Friday. And she made some wild claims implicating Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay. And Piers Morgan had to apologize. Okay. So if you guys want to get more into that, go to my unpopular opinion and check out those videos. We got tons of information about Sean Diddy Combs. But what I'm getting at is, after she appeared on Piers Morgan, he had to issue a statement because Jay-Z lawyer, said, hey, you're defamation, I'll sue your ass. So they scrubbed the video. But DJ Vlad was on there, and DJ Vlad was saying, oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. I would never invite her on my show. Now that leads me to this video. Jaguar White is calling DJ Vlad out. Okay. I guess she never responded to DJ Vlad. I think she probably would have if they would have responded in time, but her publicist or whoever, her booking agent, they never responded to DJ Vlad. But she didn't never say, oh, I don't want to go on the show. She just said, oh, we just responded to him late, like 3 months after they sent this letter of, hey, can you appear on the show? Anyway, so this is Jaguar Wright. She is doing a Piers Morgan recap on Real Life Production TV. And this is what she had to say. I'm not for sure about that. I don't know if I agree with that, but Piers Morgan, he has a larger platform, so he can do more vetting than, like me. But she pointed out something. Piers Morgan, okay, I told you he had to release this statement. And he can't control what Jaguar Wright is saying. Like I said, Jaguar Wright, she's been on a bunch of black platforms, but when she went to Piers Morgan, they attacked Piers Morgan, and I know he has a international platform. He's in the UK. He has a larger reach. But like this podcast, they have about 1.25 million followers. But I'm just so curious of why Jay-Z and Beyonce or Jay-Z legal team has never reached out to this platform and say cease and desist. Stop with all this nonsense and allowing Jaguar Wright to say these things about me and they're not true. But they have not did that. And I'm just wondering why. Why do you think Jay-Z and Beyonce allows Jaguar Wright to talk freely on all these other platforms, but when she goes to Piers Morgan, they have to scrub the video? That to me it doesn't really make sense. Because if you're talking about public perception, wouldn't you be worried about everyone's public perception, not just, hey, your dealings in the UK? I would think so, but I guess not. I'm going to fast forward it to this one part where I was talking about Vlad. Now, Vlad, I believe he's a culture vulture, but he tried to discredit Jaguar Wright during her interview with Piers Morgan.
And Vlad and your fat ass wife.
We'll stop there.
Damn.
Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday. I saw it. I never responded. Odell responded. Weeks and weeks later. But then again, Diddy was already in trouble, so you really didn't need to talk to me because you couldn't do much disinformation with me. I guess that's why your friend from the Star Report, or should I say the Comet Report, because he crashed out just like a comet. I guess that's why he was so upset when I started asking him relevant questions about why he's propping up a liar. At this point in time, Vlad, I think it's only fair to say that Carol Johnson, your assistant, unless you're saying you didn't know, she sent this on your behalf. You did want me on your show.
I mean, which makes sense. For the kind of
So that I just wanted to play that. Vlad actually did want Jaguar Wright on the show. He probably was mad because she never responded. But, you know, if she's busy doing interviews, who cares? And you're a culture vulture. Someone put in a comment, Vlad is a Fed Freemason. Yes, he is. Anybody that mess with him, they end up getting on his show, and then a week or two later, the FBI or something, they got some type of pending charges or indicted for something or getting arrested for something. It's like, okay, and I wish black people stop going on the show because it's a reoccurring thing that Vlad TV, do an interview with Vlad, get arrested. Like, it's a reoccurring thing. Do an interview with Vlad, tell on yourself or tell on somebody else, get arrested. That's generally what happens when you visit Vlad TV. He's a total culture vulture. Okay, so but you know, we're going to follow this Sean Diddy Combs update. I'm pretty sure we're going to hear more from Jaguar Wright. I believe Jaguar Wright. I think the things that she's saying is true. I believe reason why Jay-Z and Beyonce probably has not stopped her from talking on all platforms because they could clearly send her a cease and desist, and they have not. She must got something against them. She must hold some type of nugget against Jay-Z and Beyonce. Something. Because you could send a cease and desist to a person, not a platform. You guys let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. They decided to send a cease and desist or I guess a threatening email. We don't know what type of threat that they made towards Piers Morgan. But this lady been on the campaign trail of taking you guys down, and you have not seen a cease and desist letter to her. So that's why I absolutely believe she has something that, you know, probably implicates them on some criminal stuff. Not only with her, but with other people. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the lawyer that she mentioned. They was trying to shop around this video or catch and kill this video. Basically, they had this sex tape of Sean Combs and another household name. They said bigger than Biggie, another household name, and they were having sexual relations in this tape. The woman said she didn't really want to deal with it. And when I'm speaking of the woman, I'm talking about the lawyer. The lawyer claimed that she didn't want to be involved with this catch and kill negotiation because she could not tell if the individual the individual that was with Sean Puffy Combs, if they were a minor. Okay. I just want to go to Piers Morgan. That's page 6. I don't understand. Why does other people's videos not coming up and not Piers Morgan? I mean, you think his video will come up besides? Okay, this is it.
Tupac, my brother, was king of the hill, top dog.
I just want to share with you guys this lawyer. This is the lawyer. She is saying, I'm not going to play it because last time I played her video, they played Piers Morgan video, they copyright claimed me, not copyright strike, but it was a copyright claim. But anyway, this is her. She's saying she's a lawyer and she's representing a couple of clients against Sean Diddy Combs. Now, these are civil claims that she's representing them. But they also came to her that they have this video and they call it a catch and kill. A catch and kill, you actually go to the defendant or offender and you actually ask them, hey, you want to buy this, or we're going to shop it to the next person. And what I'm told, or what Jaguar Wright said in this prior video, she's saying that the video has Justin Bieber in the video. It's Justin Bieber and Sean Diddy Combs having sex. And she also says in this video, it looked like Justin Bieber didn't know he was being filmed. And she also said she doesn't know if Justin Bieber was a minor or not. It looks like, and she also said it didn't look like it was forcible or like a force, but he probably was drugged. So we don't know. And I kind of feel bad because we know Justin Bieber, Sean Diddy Combs got his claws into Justin Bieber when he was at a very young age. I think he was 13. I think he met him at 13 or 14, and he actually lived with him around 15 or 16. And as all these other videos resurfaced, like, and we call it creepy now on the things that they're saying, because we know what type of person Sean Combs is now. But, at the time, everybody thought it was funny. So anyway, this is the lawyer. I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. Justin Bieber looks like a lost soul. I think he was abused horribly. I really think so, Lexi. I really think so. Because even in that Yummy video, like I said, we shared that on Popular Opinion. And at the end of the video, it had all these older folks devouring this cake. And talking about, you got that yummy, yummy, yummy. Y'all know that video. Anyway, in the video, they was devouring this cake. And at the bottom of the cake, it was the plate of him saying, oh, you yummy. And it was him as a little boy. And he just broke down and cried. This was behind the scenes. He couldn't get it together. And it was like so sad. It's like you could tell he was abused a lot, So I feel really bad for him and Usher. They're doing good now, but it's like, what did they cost them? And like your parents just fed you to the wolves, So it's really sad. It's really sad. Okay, so Carrington Hollister is Meek Mill possibly, or Usher or Bieber. I don't think it's Meek Mill. I know they do have a videotape circulating around the audio of Meek Mill and P. Diddy. P. Diddy actually violating Meek Mill. And he was like screaming horribly. But I don't think it's Meek Mill because Meek Mill is not a bigger name than Diddy. Only the person I could think of, and when they're saying, hey, at a younger age, only person that comes to mind is Justin Bieber. And people were speculating Beyonce. I'm like, no, I don't even think Beyonce was around Sean Diddy Combs when she was a minor. I don't think that ever happened. But anyway, so they're saying, Jaguar Wright is saying it is Justin Bieber. So hopefully he'll buy it. I'm not for sure. They got to authenticate it so he won't get embarrassed, because that is embarrassing. You know, I'm pretty sure he probably, I don't know how much he shares with his wife, but, and I don't know, you being a man, do you share that type of trauma with your wife? But I would, you know, I would want her to hear it from me before you hear it from anybody else, you know. And it's probably some issues that they've been dealing with. Maybe he's been going to counseling, but it seemed like he's been being tormented on the inside. And I don't know if he's chose the life of drugs. I think he's not on drugs now, but I think he was spiraling down like alcohol abuse and drugs at one point, but I'm not for sure what he's doing with himself now. But he's you could tell he's not mentally right. You know, he's being tormented. Anyway, Too Chill Vibe said, Justin said Yummy was a direct reference to his sex life. And maybe so, but if you really think about it, if you watch that video, go on TikTok and put behind the scenes Justin Bieber Yummy video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It was like real creepy. And of course, he probably didn't know they was going to put that picture at the bottom of the plate, but it triggered something in him that he was crying. It was triggering for him. Lexi is saying it is very sad because Justin seems to have his shit together. Got a family. Now he's being made to relive his nightmare. Exactly. Justin Thompson, how many celebrities have canceled their shows and moved out the country? Right. Bieber was on that syrup. Oh, yeah. I know he was, you know, he had a bad stint with drugs. I'm not for sure what type of drugs he was using, but yeah. Lexi, and what's the video of Diddy and his mom both with IVs before they go out for the night? Something I never done with my son. What the F? Yeah, you know, that's that, I think I would call it that rich shit. You know, that's that rich stuff, but that whole dialogue was crazy. Him and his mom talking, you know, and he was calling her mom something. I think, you know, probably Sean Combs' mother was probably in that life, like maybe a stripper or a hoe at one time, because she don't look like, you know, she was, you know, a straight and narrow woman. I could say that. Anyway, that's it. You guys put in the chat and let me know what you think about that. So our last subject is your boy, Barack Obama. Barack Obama hits the campaign trail for your girl, Kamala Harris.
Who washed the dishes? Who? Who was me? Okay, well, Cam, you gotta come wipe this table now. Sweep the floor.
He was on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris, and he decided to talk crap about black men. Basically scolding black men for not voting for Kamala Harris, or getting in line, basically. Getting in line for Kamala Harris. And everybody was like, come on now. Somebody even made a video. I'm going to play this video before I start talking about Kamala.
Came in illegally. Up and take on your ass. The last person that we need as president is you. No, I'm sorry, but your skin color and big smile won't do. You ain't fit to be no president, and your past service is proof. Just look at the border, since you've been over it, and everybody come through. It's estimated that about 15 to 20 million people came in illegally under your watch. You're supposed to tighten that border, but you done caused too many leaks. Look at Chicago and Denver and New York City too. Just ask Oakland, this migrant crisis done hit them too. You digging inside of the taxpayers' pockets to give an illegal a home. Or are you tripping? This can't be real. This who you Democrats really all on. I'm starting to see that they really don't care about no policy. All that they see is a race. As long as your culture is black and your skin is like mine, you get my vote, they need a man and they still don't see the truth. Snake in the grass. Kamala, she a snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Kamala, she a snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Kamala, she a snake in the grass. Miss Kamala Harris, you need to sit back and shut up and take off your mask. Snake in the grass. Kamala, she a snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Snake in the grass.
Kamala, you a snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. Snake in the grass. So they firing back at Barack. They firing back at Barack. Shots fired. Shots fired. So let me just share what Barack Obama said to you black men out there, if you're listening. He has a message for you. He has a message for you.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all right and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Barack wants you to know that you should be voting for Kamala. Here's some more of that footage.
You at least give him a talking to. And you sure want to put him in charge of anything. So, you know, I didn't mean to get so serious. But when I hear about this stuff, I start feeling like we don't have enough of a sense of what's at stake here. These aren't ordinary times, and these are not ordinary elections. You're lucky Michelle's not here. She really talking serious about this stuff. So, but here's the good news, right? The good news is that not only as Attorney General and as a senator and as a vice presidential and now as the nominee for the Democratic Party, Kamala has made us proud.
But Barack, she wasn't the nominee. You know? You guys didn't even vote her in. So what are we saying here? So you're saying Kamala Harris, she grew up like us, which is false. She didn't grow up like us. I don't know not one black person that went out of the country every year to visit their nana or their grandma or their family. No, we were lucky to go to Six Flags. or grandma house down south. And I didn't have no grandparents down south, so we never traveled. We literally never traveled. The first time we traveled was when we moved to Iowa. So I don't know any black folks that grew up like Kamala. You know, and maybe I'm of course I grew up poor, but even middle class black folks, they weren't traveling overseas. So you're saying that black men need to fall in line, right? Because Kamala Harris went to the same college as them, an HBCU. You're saying that she had the same experiences as another black person. I don't care what type of experience she had. That doesn't even make her qualified. It doesn't make her qualified to be the highest office in the land, to be the leader of the free world. Because quite frankly, Kamala is not that smart. You guys put in the chat, do you think Kamala is a smart person? I don't think. I'm just kind of baffled of how she tricked the American people to get this far. Like, I mean, was we smoking crack? I know when she was elected as or nominated or selected as the VP, okay, we elected Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was the tag along. So yeah, we elected Joe Biden in office. So okay, we could see that. But senator, she was able to get elected for a senator, DA, district attorney. So all these high office, and she tricked people. How was she able to trick people? And yet again, people are rounding up trying to gather support for her, and she's not even, I don't even have confidence in Kamala. I don't. And that's why black men, you know, I'm a woman, so I could see like a man. How can a man have confidence in Kamala? You know, you guys put in the chat, if you're a man, would you even let Kamala babysit your kids? Kamala would be the last resort. And you probably got some bad kids. Would you let Kamala babysit your kids? Probably not.
She has been out there. If you doubt that, I hope y'all watched the debate. Because that wasn't close. That was like Mike Tyson. It was like, oh man, stop that now. So we know she can do the job. And she's got an outstanding partner in Tim Walz. And so we can take pride and feel good about the nominee. This isn't just a matter of...
Well, let's see. It is about to be over. Actually, it is practically over. He's saying we could take pride and feel good about this nominee. It's like, are you serious? Has he, or now I know they probably said, hey, Barack, we need you to go on a campaign trail because Kamala Harris, she doesn't have any steam. So we got to get you out there and rile the people up. Because you could see he's charismatic. They're hanging on to every word that he says. Oh, Barack Obama is here. They got to hang on to every word, and they're laughing and like, yes. Can Kamala Harris do this? No, she can't. Kamala Harris cannot go into a room and talk frankly to people. Even though Barack Obama is blowing smoke up all these people's ass. Somebody put in the comment, why don't these men speak up? because it's Barack Obama. They hanging on to every word because it's Barack, okay? Donald is saying, she ain't never ate no bologna sandwich. Yes, come on. But she cooked some greens in the tub, though. That's what she said. She washed some greens in the tub. Hillary, Lexi is saying, like Hillary Biden, they cannot show the actual numbers at a rally. It's that embarrassing. This is why they have Barack Obama on the trail with them. Now he's in, I believe, in Pennsylvania. He's in this rally right now, giving a speech. They brought him out on stage like he's running for president. But no, he's not running for president. And it's so sad that you got to pull somebody. He's been retired for 8 years. You got to pull somebody out of retirement to get your momentum up. And it's too late now. It's too late, Kamala, because we only have 24 more days before election? Is it 24 more days or 28? It's less than 30. We know that. It's less than 30. And you're expecting to do what at this point? If you don't have the support of these people now, you're not, especially black men. You're talking to an audience that are men. You got to pull, it has to be some type of magical moment for black men to say, oh, I'm going to vote for Kamala. But on every single platform you've been on, even that All the Smoke platform, not Matt Burns, but the other guy, I forget what the other guy's name. He was just sitting there, not even asking any questions. He knew the shit was fake. Because everybody know black men could tell that you are fake. No original bone in your body. Graffiti is saying Kamala logo looks like that old popsicle from the ice cream man. The the bomb pop. Yeah. They're scared to show the numbers. They are. They're scared to show the numbers. Kamala doesn't know that it's like what it's like to eat the ass end of the bread. That heel part, and it'd be the driest piece, right? It'd be the driest piece. Matter of fact, I made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of a heel end today, and my throat was dry as hell. She don't know that. She don't know that struggle. Kamala don't know the struggle. Oh my goodness. Justin is saying, how did Obama become one of the richest presidents while in the office during his reign as any other president in American history? Barack, he signed a whole bunch of publishing deals. They producing movies. Matter of fact, I watched a movie that he produced on Netflix the other day. So they in the movie industry, they got some other stuff going on. This is what I'm saying. Why come out of retirement? This is like the desperate move from the Democrats. You got to bring Barack Obama out of retirement to get the black men, quote unquote, riled up. But believe it or not, even though you had more black men voting for you, Barack, but that was damn near what? Barack got elected in 2009, right? Over 15 years ago, Barack. Over 15 years ago. You're talking to another generation that's not rocking with you. A generation of young men and even older men, some older men. I remember listening to some conversation that some men that used to talk bad about Barack and saying, oh, he didn't do nothing for black people. And other black men would be like, oh, don't be talking about my president. So you're talking to people that not necessarily rock with Barack Obama. So, like I said, they're trying to pull out the stops to, I guess, get black men riled up for Kamala. But every man every man sees that Kamala Harris is not fit to lead the office. And actually, I believe she is worse than Joe Biden. Joe Biden, at least he was competent. Now, maybe his plans was evil, but as evil as he was at least a competent person. Kamala, no. I don't see competency nowhere when I think about Kamala. Every time I see a video of Kamala talking, I think cringe, ill. Let me just share this other thing with you. And so whoever posted this video, they lighten him up. They lighten him up. Somebody says, this won't work. The last 4 years have sucked economically. Obama has money and the brothers don't. Myrtle is saying he sounds nervous. He knows she is going to lose and he thinks Kamala won the debate and we are on the same planet. Yeah, that's not true. He doesn't believe a word he's saying. you got people like, yeah, right. Okay. And after concluding his talk, he hopped back into his private jet to Martha's Vineyard. You talking about she grew up like us. I don't think Barack grew up like us. And if he did, we can't tell. He ended up going to this elite school. So Barack, his daddy's from Africa. His mother is a white woman. So Barack, I can't say Barack grew up like us either. So they're pulling out all the stops with pulling Barack Obama out of retirement. To me, that is wild. That's a wild thing to do. Now, and then you had another guy getting on here talking about why he's not voting for Kamala Harris.
I mean, that you can.
And he's specifically talking to Barack Obama.
Sorry, Obama, I'm a black man and I'm voting for Donald Trump for president, and there is no amount of lecturing or bullying or shaming that you can do that is going to make me change that decision. I am not afraid to vote for Kamala Harris because she is a woman. I refuse to vote for Kamala Harris because she has spent the last 4 years destroying this country. She has spent the last 4 years throwing up the borders to illegal immigrants. She has spent the last 4 years destroying this economy. We have seen over the past couple of months that she is not fit to be president. She can barely speak. She can't articulate a vision. And actually, she's pretty stupid. And if you think that I, as a black man, am going to let that waltz into the White House, that is going to get my vote because you're lecturing me and you're bullying me, and you may be the surrogate black dad for a lot of fatherless black boys that are running around this country, but I got a dad, I know who he is, and it ain't you. I'm voting for Donald Trump for president. Take it or leave it. Sorry, Obama.
And I don't blame him for saying that.
Sorry, Obama.
I don't blame him for saying that. They put this on the end. It says new former president.
You're leaving me?
For a TurboTax expert who charges me less but gives me more. Sing it, Adam.
A tax pro, she's been thinking.
I want to pause that because I want to play it. Anyway, it's saying on this, is saying former President Barack Obama says that the brothers aren't turning out for Kamala Harris like they did for him. The comments from Obama came during an event at the University of Pittsburgh where Obama said something. We have not yet seen the same kind of energy in the turnouts in all the quarters of the neighborhood and the communities as we saw when I was running. Yeah, because you're not going to get the turnout. They don't like Kamala. Nobody likes Kamala. And you know what? This is going to backfire on them because men don't like to be lectured like they're little kids. You're not going to tell them what to do. You're not going to tell that. Tell especially black men what to do. And I want to share this with you. This is from Fox News. My bad. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to...
The voting group. Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group.
Look at this lady right here.
Group of men from other identities. Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other. Even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identities.
Reason why I singled her out, you know this is the Democrats' play. How dare you're black? How dare you vote anything else besides Democrat? Then they get really angry with you. How dare you, Negro, vote anything else than what I told you to vote? She looked like she wanted to beat this lady up for saying what she said. They have the right to choose. You know, this is not a dictatorship. I don't have to vote for Kamala if I don't feel confidence in Kamala. What is wrong with that? But that lady looks crazy.
Groups. My message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who by and large don't vote much differently from black women. And what, as a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons.
It sounds like she voting for Donald Trump and she a Democrat. It sounds like she was voting for Donald Trump. To me, it's fine. And it says, that was Senator Nina Turner. She's a Democratic Ohio State Senator. And she basically said you're belittling black men. So, you know, Democrats are getting very nervous about this campaign because I guess Kamala Harris, she's not leading on any other, I guess, polls. I mean, and if she is, it's very narrow, it's very slim. Now, yesterday was the deadline for Donald Trump to accept a debate request for CNN and Kamala Harris. Now, you know, Kamala Harris, now she wants to agree with another debate because she knows she's losing in the polls. So all of a sudden she wants another debate. And Donald Trump said, nah, I ain't with it. I guess the deadline was yesterday, so he never responded to him. But he's not with the debate. He's not going to waste his time. And I think he did right to refuse the debate. Don't try to pull another, I guess, straw out the hat or another, I got you moment. And I think that's what she's looking for, because you are losing at the polls now and you want a lifeline. And prior to us going for this first debate, we had 3 other dates that I wanted to agree with. Some on your network, Fox News. I think one was for CNN, but you said no to both of those. But now you want to debate, you want your way. So Donald Trump, he did put out a statement in regards to the debate, basically declining the debate. He basically said, yeah, I'm not with it. I'm not doing it. Find somebody else to do it. Let me see. Trump, Donald. I'm going to share this tab with you. Donald. When was this? No. I know he put one on Truth Social, but I'm not signed into my account. But basically said his last debate, he had to debate 3-on-1 people, and he's not with it. He thinks CNN will be fair, but he said because last time they were fair with Joe Biden. But CNN, he says CNN got a lot of slack for not fact checking anybody. So, and of course, Biden lost horribly in that debate. He looks crazy. And I think actually Donald Trump was laying easy on Joe Biden in that debate. And I believe in the last debate, Trump didn't let loose on Kamala Harris. Only reason why he didn't let loose on Kamala Harris is because she's a woman and he didn't want to get the backlash. Oh, he's doing that. He's being sexist again. Oh, he's being racist again. The only reason why he said that is because she's black and she's a woman. So I don't think he wanted to get that. So he restrained himself with some of because she left him open for a lot of stuff for criticism, but he held back. I think he composed himself really well, actually. So anyway, he didn't agree to the debate, and Kamala Harris is crying in the dark corner. And, of course, the liberals are mad saying, oh, he's not agreeing to another debate. And he's running scared. I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, so they issued a deadline. CNN issued a deadline for Trump and Harris to agree to a final debate in 2024. The window of the final debate, a presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, is closing. They offered, CNN has publicly offered to host a debate in Atlanta on October the 23rd. Harris has accepted the invitation and welcomed the chance to debate Trump again, but Trump has rejected her calls. On Tuesday, CNN stepped up the pressure by writing both campaigns and setting the Thursday night deadline. So they sent invitations to both of them, and of course he didn't respond. It's saying that Trump has ducked 60 Minutes in debates and refused to release medical records in the campaign closing weeks, Fallon added, as his speeches show him to be less and less stable. This is a narrative that they're just pushing. Oh, Trump is not saying no. I think Trump is out campaigning Kamala Harris 10-1. Kamala Harris is getting, she's going on these little small platforms and these stupid platforms that has nothing to do with her voter base or even collecting new voters besides, the LGBTQ and women. But you can't collect men. You can't collect any man to increase your voter base. And then the undecided party is starting to lean towards Donald Trump. So they're putting out this narrative that I guess now the narrative is going to be, Donald Trump is not fit, But like I said, you could tell, it just shows Donald Trump is out campaigning her. JD Vance is out campaigning Tim Walz, and they're just doing so much more than Kamala Harris campaign. This last thing I want to share with you, because Donald Trump was actually on what is the guy's name? Andrew Schultz podcast. And it was pretty funny. If you guys are not familiar with Andrew Schultz, he's the guy, he did Meek Mill's joke about P. Diddy. And I think the joke was classic. That was a classic joke. I'm not going to play it, but it has 3 million views. He was on there 2 days ago. 2 days ago, and it has 3 million views. I'm not going to play it because I might get copyright strike, but copyright claim. But I just want to go to some of the comments. 3 million views. They about 35,000 comments. They don't give us the dislikes, but you got 133,000 likes. Donald Trump turned down 60 Minutes, but came to flagrant. This is crazy. What a time to be alive. Damn shame. Impression is getting out of hand. Barron is low-key Trump's best campaign manager, getting him on all these podcasts. After watching this and many other podcasts, I can honestly conclude that the mainstream media is done. These raw interviews are what the people want. I love when Trump dodged the question, got out for dodging the question, acknowledged he's dodging it, and then dodged it again. And you know what? Parts of this, I watched parts of it, and it was hilarious. Okay. Some of the stuff was hilarious. Okay. So it says, came here after watching Howard Stern's interview with Kamala. The difference is stark. This is what I'm saying. You could take Trump into many different audiences, many different situations, many different atmosphere. He's able to adjust. Kamala Harris, no. We're going to look at the Kamala Harris. She was on Howard Stern's, right? Now, Howard Stern, her being on Howard Stern, because he has a large platform. He has 2-point-something million followers. But she was on the platform, I think this was a couple of days ago. Yeah, and she has just under a million views. Only 6,000 comments, you guys. No, is nobody liking this video? Like, what is going on? We don't even get no likes or dislikes. Like, what is this for real? Are you guys seeing this? I'm not making this up. This is a full interview, and nobody's liking the interview. Only $6,000 comments. My American neighbors, please vote. The world laughed the first 4 years. We aren't laughing anymore. What the F? Please vote. How the F is this race so close? Polls don't mean anything. Please vote. I prefer this type of dialogue. You actually can gain more about the person. Everybody says, please vote, please vote. Thank you for posting the whole interview. What a great interview. She needs to win. Country over party. This was a great interview. Everybody saying blue wave. Howard, thanks. Excellent interview. Vote Kamala. Yes, thank you for the interview. She's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. But you only get... So we could say they're good comments, right? These are good comments, but only 6,000 comments and nobody, maybe they hit the likes. To me, that's crazy. This is why they called Barack and pulled him out. You guys let me know. This is exactly why they called Barack and pulled him out. Carrington says the pandering is real and it shows especially in adverts for YouTube like Good God. Lexi is saying Democrats cannot stand to lose who they're indoctrinating. Folks have woken up. Now they have their illegals they bought and destroyed in our country. Nina Turner always keeps it 100. Luella Mitchell, go back to Martha's Vineyard, The Great Divider, exactly. Chawanne Burns, another great show. I'm voting for VP Harris. Okay. Hello, everyone coming in. Welcome. I see Carrington. It says the woman sounds crazy as hell. Ha, Democrats are so funny. She's voting for Trump, but will not tell nobody for the change. Right. That's what I said. She sounds like she campaigning for Donald Trump. Let's see what Kamala talking about. I just want to see part of it.
But you have to, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't you're running for
do.
office.
And a friend of mine actually said, look, this is not a time to worry about modesty because this is, obviously, you got to let people know who you are.
When you said you don't nap, I get it because like what you've taken on is extraordinarily difficult. And I mean, do you feel the pressure of the moment in the sense that, like when I met you out in the hall, I said, I'm really nervous because I want this to go well for you. I want it to go well for the country. Even when I watch them on Saturday Night Live with the where they have Maya Rudolph playing you, I hate it. I don't want you being made fun of.
Howard Stern, shut up. You sound stupid. This is the most nastiest person. I don't know if you guys ever paid attention to Howard Stern. He is the most degrading person ever on talk show. He degrades women. He degrades men. He makes in front of slow people. Remember, he had that slow guy on the show and he used to talk shit about him. So, I mean, I know it was a joke to you, but you're trying to act like, oh, we can't make fun of Kamala Harris. Why? She's a politician. Everybody's going to make in front of Kamala Harris. They make in front of Donald Trump. They was literally laughing about Donald Trump getting, almost his assassinated. They were like laughing about it. They were talking about, I didn't share that with you. Somebody in Detroit and I don't know if the statue is going around, but they're saying naked 43-foot Trump sculpture goes up in Detroit, turning heads, sparking laughter. So it's okay to do it to a man, but how about we put a naked Kamala Harris up? And it says a large and rather raw sculpture that is making its way across America was on full display Thursday in Lincoln Street Art Park in Detroit, where it's behind a chain link fence. It's a naked towering depiction of former President Donald Trump as a marionette suspended by a crane. The outdoor effigy, I don't know, has been eliciting snickers and ire of politicians who have called it a stunt. And it says, I don't know what to make of it, Jay Moody, one of the guards who had been looking over the work since 1 a.m., told the Free Press. People are taking pictures, laughing. It's fully naked. I just can't believe they are showing everything. And it's like, so that's okay to do. You know, that to me, that's very disrespectful. What if they would have did that to a black woman? What if they would have did that to an Indian woman? A woman, period. Democrats would be mad as hell. But I'm assuming that this statue is going around on the campaign trail. I don't know if there's following Donald Trump of every city that he's going to or campaigning in. But it's like, you don't want people to make fun of Kamala Harris, but making in front of Donald Trump is okay. You guys make it make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense.
There's too much at stake. I believe the entire future of this country right now, I mean, as America, land of the free, home of the brave, I think it's literally on the line.
I agree with you.
And when
this is the talking point. Howard Stern is not even a politician, but they probably said, oh, you want to say these talking points. It's too much at stake. Democracy is on the line. We want to turn the page. Turn the page to what? She's in office now. So if you want to turn the page, you want to turn to a new story at least. Come on now. Turning the page to the same story, you in the same chapter in the same book when you turn the page if you elect Kamala Harris. That's basically what you're saying. But Howard Stern, you know, he's extreme liberal, and he's going to have the same talking points as, you know, other Democrats. So, like I said, I think the Democrats are very, very nervous. Very, very nervous because they're seeing that black men, you got to do more than what you're talking about to convince black men to vote for Kamala Harris. And if you're not willing to do that, they're not going to vote. They're not going to vote. I want to see this. Let's take a look at this. Now, this is CNN.
So you think you know Wicks, but do you really?
This is CNN talking about the trend, the polling numbers.
Why some Democrats worry. Now, it's a trope. A lot of people will say they're always worried. But I will say, if you've been paying attention to social media or reporting on CNN, Democrats seem particularly worried now. Why? One man, as we say, has the answer. CNN's chief senior data reporter, Harry Etten, is here. So, why?
Why? What is with all of this bedwetting among Democrats? Maybe it's an eternal problem, but let's take a look here. These are, of course, the Great Lake battleground states, the states we've been focusing in on. If Kamala Harris wins these three, she most likely gets to 270 electoral votes. Take a look 3 weeks ago. Harris was ahead by 2 in Pennsylvania, 2 in Wisconsin, 3 in Michigan. Look at where we are today. The race is even tighter than it was. Today, it's a 1-point advantage in Pennsylvania, 1 in Wisconsin, 1 in Michigan. Look, that's limited movement, but in a year in which this race has been so static, if we're talking 1-point movement, 1-point movement, 2-point movements, and we see movements in all three, this is the type of thing that, at least in the public polling, makes Democrats worried. And I think that the public polling in this case is reflected in some of that internal polling, some of that reporting that suggests that these Great Lake battleground states have certainly tightened a lot, where at this point they are way too close to call.
It is what you call a trend.
It is
when
a
you
trend.
See something like this over several states. When you compare this to 4 years ago, what does it look like?
Yeah, so let's take a look, and we're going to look at an average across these 3 states, right? Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, an average on October 11th. What do you see? Well, if you look 8 years ago, Hillary Clinton was way out in front in an average of these 3. She was up.
We can't, I guess Hillary Clinton, and not to cut him off, she's a anomaly, okay? Hillary Clinton is an anomaly. People didn't know President Trump as a politician at the time. So, of course, whoever they're campaigning, even me, I did. I believe I voted for Hillary Clinton. And only reason why I voted for Hillary Clinton now is like Donald Trump is just joking. I literally believe Donald Trump was playing a joke on us. And I don't even think he thought he had a chance of winning, and he ended up winning. It's just like, okay, he won. But so I don't think we could use that data point as a good data point, because no one knew Donald Trump as a politician, one, and then all the people that they were polling, they took Donald Trump as a joke, they were bashing Donald Trump. Oh, he's a racist. He's this, like that. And they wasn't bashing him that much. But then it started out with that Russia hoax and all that good stuff. But anyway, I don't think we could look at 8 points as a good indicator. Oh, Kamala Harris should be worried.
By 8. You go 4 years ago, Joe Biden was up by an average of 7 points across these 3 Great Lake battleground states. You come today, it's just a 1-point advantage for Kamala Harris across these 3 Great Lake battleground states. So Kamala Harris, at least in the polling, is doing considerably worse than Biden or Clinton. And of course, Clinton lost in all 3 of these states, and Joe Biden barely won in all 3 of these states. So when you see Harris up by just a point across these 3, I think that this is really the type of thing that gets Democrats really to worry, John, because the simple fact is Kamala Harris is doing considerably worse than either Biden or Clinton was.
Yeah, at this number, what you start hoping for is somehow that the polls
are actually right this time.
Are right this time and doing a better job, and that's a little bit of a thin reed to base your hope on. There may be some other reasons in general why Democrats are more worried.
Yeah, so I think it just comes down to the fact that Democrats are more worried about a Donald Trump presidency than Trump supporters are about a Kamala Harris presidency. So angry if the opposing candidate wins. 52% of Harris voters say they'd be angry if Donald Trump won, versus just 42% of Trump voters who say they'd be angry if Kamala Harris was. So I think this is more of a bigger, larger picture. It's not just that the polls are tightening. I think it's just that Democrats, John, are more worried in general about a Donald Trump presidency than the reverse in this particular situation.
Harry Etten, thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.
Have a great weekend.
You as well.
Kate?
So Kamala Harris is continuing her campaign media blitz, taking part in a town hall hosted by Univision.
Now, this is hilarious, okay? Kamala Harris, she knows how to switch up her tone for, I guess, whatever crowd she is catering to. Okay, she could do a Southern accent. She's a Latino, Hispanic, Southern Black, Southern White. Maybe and I never heard an Indian accent, and she's actually Indian, but she actually switch up. I'm wondering if they're going to show. Let me see. Oh yeah, they are going to show it. Kamala Harris talking, and it's quite hilarious because some of the things that she was saying, it's like, Are you trying to be Hispanic or Latino? Like, what are you doing, Kamala? Like, I'm kind of confused. Like, why are you sounding like this?
Vision for undecided Hispanic voters. Listen.
How many sales do you lose on a weekly basis when you talk with the prospect?
And one lady was crying about her undecided vote. She said her mom died, lived in the country for years, and she never gained her citizenship. And she was literally crying about this. And so Kamala Harris decided to answer it and was like, that's not, you're talking about what the states did, or, Congress did. What will you do to alleviate? But hey, you created this problem. You overload the system with your open border policies. So she didn't really have a real answer for her.
I will bring back that border security bill, and I will sign it into law, and do the work of focusing on what we must do to have an orderly and humane pathway to earn citizenship for hardworking people. I think it is a false choice for people who would say you do one or the other. I believe we must do both. I believe we can do both.
Joining me right now is Gen Z activist, social media influencer, Carlos Eduardo Espina. He has 10 million followers on TikTok. I'm sure it's more than that if I check back. You can correct me, Carla. And it also is speaking slot at the DNC, which is the last time that we spoke was right before you had your big moment on stage at the DNC. The New York Times headline on this event, on this town hall event with Univision, was that Harris walks fine line on immigration at Univision town hall, which is what you really kind of saw in that moment, in that soundbite that we just played. But in your experience, in your view, in what you hear in your interactions with your followers, is walking a fine line the right thing to do you think?
Well, in my personal experience, I actually believe it's not. I think the Harris campaign needs to be a lot more on the forefront of proposing a different vision than Donald Trump on immigration. You see it yesterday in the town hall. Of the 10 questions, 3 of them were in one way or another related to immigration. You had the daughter who lost her mother, the guy who has friends who are on DACA, and then you had other issues on immigration, and they're all highlighting, right, the humane aspect of it. And I think that's something really important to lean on. And obviously border security is really important and it needs to be addressed, but I would like to see a lot more of the leaning into the humane side, DACA recipients, those who are married to US citizens, those who have been here for decades, and really highlighting that contrast between Harris and Trump. And I think she's doing a good job at times, but I would like to see more of it, honestly.
That is interesting, because I was going to ask you, what you're getting at is, as it's been described, the shift that people have seen in Kamala Harris's position since she's gotten into the campaign. I mean, Harris is now pledging to impose even more restrictive immigration, asylum, and border policies than we've seen really, before from Biden or that she's talked about before. And in doing so, she's gone from framing herself as an advocate for undocumented immigrants to kind of touting herself as talking a lot about being a former border prosecutor and how she's going to be stronger on the border than Donald Trump is. Do you think she's trying to win the middle? She's trying to...
Kamala Harris is a communist, okay? She will have the borders open, wide open. She's very liberal-leaning, communistic policies. You're framing these questions, I believe Kamala Harris, like they said, she's going to walk this fine line because you're in office before. And I hope Latino voters really realize this. Even the ones that's in the country now, and I guess they're waiting to get their citizenship. If you have more people in line and people all scurrying around because they let everybody and their mama over here and they didn't get over here the same way you did legally, they're overburdening the system. So I believe the people that's over here, that's been over here for years and still waiting on citizenship, are they going to lose their spot? That's what they should be concerned about. And I think that half of the people that were posing these questions, they were concerned about that. Not only humanity or inhumane treatment, but hey, I've been here for 20 something years and I still haven't had the chance to receive citizenship. I pay my taxes, I work, I contribute to society, I don't commit crimes, and you're just putting me by the wayside and you letting all these other people in that's committing crimes and doing all this stuff. And are they going to get a pathway to citizenship faster than I am? And I've been over here paying my taxes? You guys make it make sense. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I think Kamala Harris is, let me see if I can find that one snippet of the video where Kamala Harris is trying to act like she's Latino, talking to, I don't know if I reposted this or not. No, I didn't repost it. Did I bookmark it? Oh yeah, this is it. Oh, well, you know what? Somebody pointed out.
We have seen over the last 2 weeks since Hurricane.
Somebody pointed out, this is at that Univision conference. Somebody pointed out also on this conference, she had a teleprompter. I don't know why she would have a teleprompter. Somebody said it was for the host, but
Victim of
maybe
crime.
so.
Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? The only question I ever ask is, are you okay? And sadly, we have seen over the last 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene, victim of crime. Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat?
Somebody posted that. But anyway, I don't see where they was talking about it. But like I said, she act like she was Latino and changing her voice, and it's like, come on now. You don't want it. You don't need to do all that. You just who you are. You don't need to change your voice or change the way your dialect and how you talk just for people to vote for you. Just be who you are. And Kamala Harris has not realized that. She's trying to be somebody else to win over the vote. Anywho, I'm not going to rant and rave about that. You guys let me know what you think. Let me just get to some of your comments. Lexi said, LOL, now she got a Brazilian accent. When you need to copy Hillary, you're all done, right? I almost voted for Hillary because I thought when Trump was running, I thought he was absolutely joking, but I voted for him anyway. I actually thought he was joking too. That's why I didn't vote for him. And I probably should. And I actually got in an argument with somebody, and they told me, they was like, you know what? They're not gonna win. They were saying that Trump will win this election. I was like, nah, he's not gonna win because he's not this, he's not that. And not that I didn't like him as a person. I was just like, he's joking around. That's what I thought. I thought he was joking. Anyway, God, Kamala, you have more accents than I have underwear, right? Justin Thompson is saying she may start sounding Jamaican and gain sympathy and culture. Luella Mitchell, it says, if Americans believe her, give me a raise and I'll fix the border economy. Harris been in office for 4 years and has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Shout out to Yandy over on Twitch, or yeah, that's Twitch. Keratin is honestly, it takes a businessman to be a better president than a politician, in my opinion. You're absolutely right. I think so. I think you should have some type of, I think they end up making better decisions. Now, you know, when we're talking about, you know, other world conflicts, I like President Trump way better than probably any other. Since I've been voting, I prefer him like negotiating deals. I think he's a great negotiator. And on the world stage, they tend to respect him. And that's probably because he's had a lot of business dealings and, you know, what have you throughout the world. Okay. They messed up with the Trump-Hillary race, but obviously corrected it at the last elections. Can't happen again. So anyway, you guys, I really appreciate every single last one of you. Tomorrow, I might go online tomorrow. It all depends. I'm trying to catch up on, you know, editing videos. But if I have time, I'll probably get online really quick and say hello. But if not, I will see you Monday on our regular scheduled time. Okay, so I am sending all my good to you. You guys have a great weekend. I will talk to you